Welcome in everybody who's joining now. Thanks for joining the customer Q&A. As we're going through this, if you would like, you can go ahead and hit the raise hand button, and then what it's going to do is it's going to send you a request to become a contributor, to which point you can unmute your mic and go ahead and ask the question that you have. These are recommended. The questions are to be any support related questions that you may have, and anything that you are looking for as developmental things, we will address those at a later point in time. We're working on it. So if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and start raising your hands in the hand button at the bottom of your screen, and we can get started. All right, we have one. All right. Go ahead, SG. Should be a mic icon in the bottom left-hand corner.
Got it now. How are you?
Good. How are you? Who are we
Okay,
talking
this
with?
is Ken and Savannah. We've talked before, Tyler, I think.
Yeah.
Kenny the cleaner in Skokie, Illinois.
Gotcha. How you doing today?
Yeah, we're, shitty, but at a higher level.
Yeah, there you go.
I think we've talked to you about this, and we use your system for the route, and but our retail counter routes about 900 tickets a week, and it takes about 50% longer to write one of your invoices than it does with who we're with now. And we think that's because the retail screen has just too many options, I'm just wondering if you guys are going to work on that.
Okay, so you're saying that you've moved over to a different POS system?
No, we had that POS system. We will move primarily to you because of the route. We like the phone. The company we're with now doesn't offer the phone, so we took on part for the retail route, and it's worked out well. We're pleased with it. But it's a different business than the one we're in. As I said, we write about 900 tickets a week across our counter up front. Customer stands there while we write it, and it's all prepaid, so they don't like leaving without a receipt. So this is what we're into. And in all honesty, we not honesty, I don't even need to say that. When we switched from the guy we had for about 20 years to CBS, that was one of the reasons, because CBS's screen is not as good as the guy we had, but it was better and mated with the automatic sorting system that we bought a couple years ago. But we would like to standardize, and we don't spend a tremendous amount of money on this when you look at the sales, but on the other hand, we would like to standardize.
Gotcha. So you're just saying that, or you're wondering if we're going to make it easier at some point or another for making delivery requests or making your retail tickets.
Our primary focus, excuse me, is the retail customer and that transaction. We're not a super high price guy, so the piece counts are a little higher than a lot of other dry cleaners. And the people who came in here, I've had Spot in here years back. Then I ended up with CBS. They were a little overwhelmed by it. Let me tell you, it's just a little busier, or not quite the dry cleaner that they're used to, is what I mean to say. And we have got 5 retail stores and a retail route. And we use you for the route, as I said.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. And are you using the quick detailing screen whenever those customers are coming in?
Well, we've explored that, and we don't like it.
Okay.
They do want a list of the garments.
It'll do it, but there's no color.
Speak up.
It'll do a list of the garment. We went through that, but it doesn't give as details. There's like 3 pants, 2 sweaters.
Yeah. We We don't like it.
No, because then you get like a list of words, pants, blouse, and you click two. We look at these pictures. It's just not as easy. The ease of use is not there.
Okay, that's primarily where we're at with it. That
Gotcha.
was the president
Okay.
of the company.
Okay, perfect. What I would like for you to do, if you wouldn't mind, would you mind emailing me some of the feedback that you have about the current setup and how things are working, and then we can work on it from there. And,
We'd love
put
to
in what
do
we
that.
need
We
to.
made a couple of attempts at this. As a matter of fact, I was just looking at an email today that we sent you over a year ago about the same issue. We would like to standardize, I mean, we don't like having two companies, and you guys, not that either one of them, your service is any better or any worse. They're both good. They're both good.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. I
And
definitely
we're
hear
in
you.
love with the phone, actually. The phone for the route, we're in love with that.
Perfect. We love to hear that.
And
Um,
which I guess you've added just recently, because you didn't do the mass texting for promotions, right?
right. Right. Yep.
Is this something that we're doing now, right?
Yeah, we are doing it now. Yes.
And we use that quite a bit with CBS. We send out, at least once a week, we send something out to all our stores or individual ones, to promote a sale or wake them up a little bit, we hope.
Yeah, we definitely have that capability, and people are using it and enjoying it as well. If that's something that you want somebody to reach out about, we can definitely do that too.
Well, we talked to your marketing gal about 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago, and she tied us up with
Tony?
and we just haven't made any movement on it, for a variety of reasons. Old and lazy may be 2 of them, but that's another thing.
Okay.
But we'd like to, make this a winter project if we can, or in some way.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, if you want to send us an email or send me an email, whichever, you can do both, and then we can definitely go over that through email, and we can schedule some time to meet and go over some use cases and get some things fixed for you guys.
Are you guys with Zips?
I'm not sure I know what that means.
Zips is a big dry cleaner on the East Coast.
No, I don't think we are.
Okay, I just wondering. All right.
But hey, we're gonna have to move on to our next one. We've got a couple others in queue, if that's all right. I'm gonna move you back to the viewing status, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Now, what do we do?
All right, we've got a couple others coming in. All right, hey Lisa, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can ask the question that you're having issues with.
Hey, Tyler. So I've got a quick question. We're looking to start a CRM. We're going to be pushing sales. We've got somebody going out that's gonna be joining in the community or the Chamber of Commerce and that. And we want to have a way for her to track her contacts. Do you guys have anything like that with the software, or do you guys recommend a CRM that maybe can interface with Smart?
That's a good question. We don't have anybody that's currently using a CRM. We use our own, but we don't have any that integrate with Smart. Now, we do have a couple of companies that are using other means to get notifications, and I know that we're also working on ways to better notify for those things. But as for tracking, I guess I would want to ask, how is the current sales member tracking that information?
Well, quite honestly, she's not. We're just really started. We've never really done the marketing sales thing, or I shouldn't say we never have. We just haven't in the last few years. And obviously we need to get some traction going. So we're going to put her back out there and see what we get. but I'd like to have a tool for her to use that, you know, she contacted Joe at Wendy's Spa, and she needs a reminder, and another week she needs to reach back out to them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Have you looked at using custom fields at all for each individual customer so that you could mark them as they come in, and then your salesperson can go through and mark those customers that they've talked to?
No, we have not.
Okay. We could definitely set that up, or we can look into that if you want to, if that is a route that you want to go down.
All right. Why don't you, can you email me, the process basically?
Yeah. So actually, I think it would be best if you put in a support ticket for us, and then I can I can either watch that ticket or have one of the agents walk you through how to do the custom fields portion for the profiles.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and move you back to the viewer status.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Hey, Sasha.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I have a follow-up to what I think it was Jan that was just talking, was asking. We're considering doing a no-knock program, which is a pretty big program in the dry cleaning industry where your delivery folks, I think the Poister method is he takes every day you do 5 drops. So you drop 5 marketing pieces at the next door neighbors. And then you have to remember, if you have a Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday route, you need to somehow record that so that you know to pick them up and whether or not they were empty or you got something with it. And we're trying to figure out how to track that. And of course, we've turned to Excel spreadsheets. But I'm wondering, since it is such a popular program, if there is already any sort of functionality in the smart system to do or manage a program like that.
Hey, Sasha, can you hear me there?
I can.
This is Mike. We've spoken.
Yes, we have.
So I figured I'd take this question for Tyler because there are, it kind of depends on exactly what you're trying to do, but the first thing that comes to mind is the custom fields, which actually Tyler mentioned with the previous question.
Right. That's how
Yeah, and for anybody who's not familiar, a custom field is just it's a text box or sometimes a drop-down menu that you can add to customer profiles with just like a custom label, and you can put whatever kind of text or options if it's a menu that you want in there. So the most common use is for like referral source. So it'd be Google, Yelp, etc. But yeah, you could use these. There's a few different ways you could do it. You could maybe have like one for each day of the week or one for each maybe the pickup day. And then so the driver, when they get done with their route, they go to the 5 accounts where they dropped off, or well, I guess you have to make accounts for the addresses with dummy names. There's a little setup I think you'd have to go through to make this work, but it's doable. Without getting too much into the weeds to it, with it right here, yeah, it can be done. I think the custom fields are probably going to be strong there, and we can give you some reporting to go with it. So if you want to dig down that road a little further, yeah, get in touch with us and I'll help you set that up.
As far as you know, is there anyone else that's doing this within the smart platform?
I've heard 1 or 2 clients sort of bring it up and just ask for how to do various things that were sort of related to their project. But I think this is the first time I've heard this particular question.
All right. And for anybody who is unsure as to how this is working currently, if you have any questions, anything that we could help you with, go ahead and raise your hand, and then we'll invite you to be a contributor, and then you can go ahead and unmute your mic and ask the question that you've got. All right. Hey, Flora, how's it going?
There we go. Sorry, I was muted.
All good.
So quick question about the drop ticket layout. Is there a way to change that setup, and as far as like adding different things like a phone number and such?
No, currently there's not a way to edit that information.
Okay. Is there a way to go ahead and have 2 drop tickets come in at once, instead of just a single ticket when we have a drop off?
Yeah, we can do that.
Where would I find that setting?
That should be under receipt settings. Let me open, go ahead and find that.
And would there be an option for certain clients to, or for us to opt certain clients in or out of that? Because most don't want a ticket, but there is a certain amount that, a certain clients that always want a reminder ticket.
Yeah, so that's also, yeah, so as much as that is a business setting, that is also a by customer, by group, however you would want to narrow that down to. And it should be a drop ticket count, and then there should be a number listed on there. Should be 1, 2.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, Flora. This is Ross Medina. I just wanted to ask a couple questions. My first question to you is, why do you need the phone number, or why do you think the phone number is needed on the drop ticket? And second, why do your customers need a ticket reminder if I am assuming that your instance is set up to send ready messages when your customer orders are ready?
For that second question, so some customers like a reminder ticket in their car just because if they're driving by the area, even though they got a text message, they completely forget that they have clothes here, and having that ticket reminder in their car reminds them to stop by when they're here in the area. And then also for the phone number itself, having it on drop tickets when we have clothes that comes in helps out before it gets marked in, because sometimes we have questions for the customer that a specialty department needs to ask them before it gets marked in. Of course, they could go as far as to go to the computer and find the customer and get the number, but just wanted to know if there was an option to have that on there prior.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, just reiterating Tyler's response. Right now, we do not have a way to add the phone number to those quick tickets. Now for the second one, but completely understand. Yeah, customers want a reminder in their car, their fridge, wherever that is. I just wanted to remind you, you could also sign up for marketing, and then we could also send periodic messages for that, however often you would like them to be.
Oh, awesome. So they can get reminders for when they have clothes here that they forgot to pick up.
Correct. So the system will by default send the initial ready message. Now, if you do want to send, let's say, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, a reminder, we would direct it to our marketing department for that. But it is possible within the system.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, Columbus Cleaning.
Hello. I had a question regarding the routes. We want to start tracking our drivers' missed and completed stops. Is there a way we can get like a weekly report for each of our drivers on that rather than looking at each individual account?
Yeah, we should be able to make a report for that. Yes.
Okay. And then along those lines, sometimes we have drivers go to a house because, say it's a will call, and they opted in for a pickup that day. They'll go, but the person didn't have anything out, and it still says that the stop was missed. So it looks like they never went. Is there a way to somehow track that they actually did go, but there was nothing there to pick up?
Yeah, so actually, this is a pretty common question that we're starting to see. And missed is kind of construed incorrectly, and we're
Yes.
looking at changing the verbiage that it's using.
Okay.
So missed just means that there wasn't anything picked up or dropped off at that stop. So it's not necessarily that it's missed, quote unquote, but that there was nothing picked up or dropped off. And the way to pick the difference at that is that usually if you see a missed stop that was never touched, nobody ever went to, there's no timestamp for it. But if there is a timestamp of like, oh, at 10:30 it was missed,
Okay.
right? Yeah, so if you do have suggestions as to what you would want to change it to, feel free to let us know as to what would make more sense, and to kind of help everybody understand what a missed or
Okay.
I guess non-productive stop would be.
Okay, well, that's good to know about the timestamp. I didn't realize that. And then I just reach out to you later or someone else through Smart to get that report.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to, you can just submit a ticket and then just, kind of leave some details as to what you're trying to look for, and then we can definitely make that report for you or show you the best way to find that information for you.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you.
If I could jump in there real quick, I just wanted to add something to Tyler's answer about the missed stops and the delivery status. One thing that I think might help or might clarify things here is to understand that if the driver never went, like if they never interacted with the stop in the app and they literally never even clicked the done button, that will leave the stop in the to-do list. So if the driver gets back and you go and look at the manifest and there's a few stops still in the to-do list, that doesn't guarantee that they never physically went to those addresses, but they didn't mark them in any way in the app. And so that, to my way of thinking, is kind of more of a truly missed stop.
Okay.
Whereas the ones that are considered missed stops are more like the transaction or the pickup or delivery, as Tyler said, that Smart expected because there was an appointment, didn't occur, but we still marked the appointment done. So that's what moves it from to do to missed.
Okay.
So yeah, your to-do list, when the route's done, the to-do list is really like your real world missed stop list in a way.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Cool.
Should be a microphone button down in the lower part of your screen. It may be red. There you go.
There we go. Sorry, I got dropped right as soon as I tried to unmute. Sorry.
All good.
Hey, okay. So this question it's as much for you guys as I guess other people that are using your product. So I have a little error message. It's popping up. It'll happen probably 20 to 30 times a day for my home delivery drivers. They're getting something that comes up that says, "We're sorry, but something went wrong. Help us fix this note and note your current time, what you just did, and inform Smart of the error." There's nothing in particular that they're doing. It's not like they're going to scan something and then that message pops up. I've requested some feedback, and most of it's just, "Hey, try clearing the cache for the app." I'm wondering is there any chance that it's just like a service issue, that maybe Smart's getting disconnected from the internet and that error message pops up, and it has more to do with the coverage that we're paying for our cell phones? I don't know. I guess I'm curious if anybody else has run into that. I can't imagine we're the only ones that get that message, but it's so consistent, and it doesn't seem to be even like in a certain area where service is spotty. It just seems, again, it happens 20 to 30 times a day. Sometimes it'll pop up, 8 times, so they have to close that error 8 times before they can get back to the app. Does that sound like something that you guys have dealt with before, or anybody else has experienced?
Hi, Sean. This is Ross. I'm not sure what error is that the app is giving. So now I do not believe that this has anything to do with reception, because when it comes to reception, the data is stored within the phone. So when you go out of good reception area, then everything is stored in the phone. As soon as you enter good reception area, everything syncs up. Now, if your drivers kill the app, completely exit the app while they're still in bad reception area, we lose all that data. So even when they go into good reception, we cannot recover that. So, but I do not believe that the problem your drivers are experiencing is related to that. What I would recommend is whenever they run into that, have them take screenshots and then send those screenshots, because those errors do have some codes for us. They don't mean anything to you, but they will mean something for developers. So as long as you can get those screenshots, we can tackle the problem.
Okay, so I've sent in a screenshot. I'll say this, in the area that the kind of the code would be, it just says undefined is not an object. I don't know if that means anything to you, but that's again, when I've sent in any information, they say, "Ugh, we don't know. We'll try to look into that." But I that's good to know. So I'll have them keep taking screenshots and we'll send those in.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep, thank you guys.
And just to ask, what cleaner are you with? Just so we
Oh
can.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, Victoria Cleaners.
Got it. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Sean.
Yep, thank you.
Hey, Joy, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
I'm calling from Benzinger's Clothing Care. I just have a quick question about a note that popped up in an order. We really couldn't figure out why. It shows order brought back as an auto note. And the order was not brought back. What triggers that designation?
Okay. Yeah. I do know that we had a couple people run into this issue recently. In short answer, I'm not sure why that happened. There's probably some
Okay.
things that we can look into to find that out. And obviously look into more in depth as to why this one. Did it only happen with one piece, or are there more things that happened with it? Was it just this order?
It's happened a couple times. This order was just brought to my attention, and I actually can watch the video footage, and I watch him, rack the items and then scan them out to the customer. And he says nothing was different, the CSR, nothing different on his end.
Okay, and do you have a date for that as to when that happened?
Let me just pull it
Probably
up.
like 2-3 weeks ago, maybe.
It was December 18th.
Yeah, I think we had a couple other people mention this problem.
Okay,
If you wouldn't mind, could you send that in as a ticket, just with the
sure,
information of that ticket, and then we can take a further look into that?
absolutely.
Okay, awesome, perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you. Okay, seems like mostly everybody that was in here asked a question or had questions. We don't have any further questions as of right now, but I think we'll be here for another 10 or so minutes, and if people want to join and ask questions, that's what we're here for. At the bottom of your screen, there might be a red mute or a red microphone button. If you click that, it'll unmute you.
There, is that better?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, sorry about that.
All good.
Doesn't look like we have enough time on this one, but I was wondering maybe next time if it's possible to teach us the basics on building KPIs ourselves. Is that something that's an option?
It's pretty broad, definitely an option for people that want to learn and want to look at their own filters. I think we could definitely do might be able to do something with that. Yeah, if in the meantime, if you just yourself want to learn, you can always put in a ticket, and then we could schedule a time to meet with somebody, and then we can go through kind of what you're looking for and how the filters work to generate your own reports.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you. Hey, Eldon, how you doing today?
Hey guys, pretty good yourself?
Doing well.
I got a quick question for you guys. So my team, when we get the clothes at the drop stores, when we get the clothes from the plant, we rack the store at, let's say, shelf or a certain location just to make sure that it got there. And then um, we sort it by customer. But from time to time, the wrong customer will go out. And obviously we're scanning those out, but it's still we may miss the beep. The computer may be too far. is it possible that when you are picking up an order, that when you scan the wrong customer into that order for to be a complete lockout, that you have to manually go to the computer to accept it, or maybe an error log somewhere saying that order for Elton was scanned incorrectly on the Tyler, something that we can go back to that error and find it again. Does that
Hey,
make
Elton,
sense?
this is Ross.
Hey, Ross.
Um, at this moment, of course, that's not available, right? Now, the thing is, if your staff is already missing the alert, letting them know that they scanned it into the wrong place, what's going to guarantee is that they're going to catch a blockout and that they're just going to
Well,
continue
so the
scanning
blockout, they have to go back to the
forward.
computer and then say, oh, okay, yeah, versus keep it scanning and just they just keep scanning. That's the issue. They just keep scanning.
Right, but that's exactly my point. If they're already missing the main alert, there's very high chances that they're going to miss the other one, and they're just going to continue scanning, thinking that things are still going through. So what my suggestion would be is there's two ways here. First, and something that would not require you to spend more money would be getting speakers for that computer, so that they get a louder sound around the store, maybe speakers that connect to the back of the store, or something that they cannot miss. The other one would require you to add another station, and that would be a phone, so they can rack using the phone, and then they don't have to actually look at a monitor. They would be looking at that phone, that screen on the phone, and it's right there. If they miss something, there's vibration on the phone, there is sound, and there is the visual alert.
Okay. All right. Let me think about that. Um, and because they already have the speakers, that's not an issue. But I just think is they just keep scanning, like mad people sometimes, and I don't know. All right, let me think about the phone situation. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you. Hello, Columbus Cleaners. In the lower left, there should be, there it is.
Sorry. Yes. Hi,
All
everyone.
good.
This is more of a suggestion for a future potential feature to be added. And I don't know what the possibility of this happening would be, but I would think it would be quite useful for all of us. This would be probably a collaboration with DLI and NCA to send alerts or create a database with potentially problematic garments, garments that have maybe crossed their analysis departments, and they've conducted analysis on these garments, and could be labeled as potentially problematic, so that dry cleaners can take care or be careful when they're processing.
Hi, this is Rose again. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Ross. This is Maria from Columbus Cleaners in Boston.
Hi, Maria.
Hi. We also, just for future reference, we've merged our two brands, and now we only go under Columbus Cleaners, so we can remove the closed clinic group. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you. So correct me if I'm wrong. I am assuming that you're talking about here some garments that DLI will publish and say, this brands, this fabrics, this are high risk. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yes, correct. And for example, NCA, we belong to both NCA and DLI. NCA will send out watch out garment alerts.
Mm-hmm.
So my thinking is that SMRT could collaborate with the two member industries, the NCA, DLI, and potentially start collecting or creating a database of potentially problematic garments.
Got it. Let me ask you something. Are you using tags or heat seals to track your garments?
Heat seals.
Okay. And I am assuming that you require your staff to enter brand, fabric, all that, or are you just relying on pictures?
No, correct. We enter all the information. We find it quite useful, and we love that feature. And I do know, I understand some other users perhaps do not do that, or they do not use heat seals. So I was thinking more of a database where, we could look up garments.
Correct. No, and that is also why I'm trying to collect this information, right? I understand that this is feedback at this point. This is not something that it's possible at this time. I'm just trying to also understand how it would work, because like you mentioned, we do have cleaners that do not enter all the information, and so at that point, even if we can flag some items, it would become obsolete. So I just want to make sure that I understand the full request. Now, and I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to happen anytime soon, but let's say that happens. How would you like to be alerted of that? Just, hey, you detail jacket, San John wool, and this has been flagged, or hey, this is a list of warning items today or as of this month.
Right. So it won't be possible to alert for specific garments because, for example, I could have a Ralph Lauren blazer, but not all Ralph Lauren blazers are problematic. So I do understand that, but I was thinking more like a database where you would send out an alert, or we could look things up when there's questions. Or maybe when a new garment becomes a problematic garment, an automatic alert could be sent out to, I don't know how you would do that, to the team.
Okay. This definitely needs a lot more thought, but
Yes.
we'll write it down on our pipeline and consider it. And if we can find a way to work with DLI or these associations and they're willing to work with us, we'll reach out and see what other ideas you have. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
One more question I might be missing out on, but whenever customers reply with messages for our store employees, is there maybe it's on there, but a way to alert them more than just the banner up the top? I mean, some noise or something, because I'm having to go through and make sure that they're all being answered and things like that.
Right, yeah. So I know that it does make a noise. I think it's a slight clicking sound or something, and then the drop down will pop up.
We don't have a drop down. Maybe I missed it.
Generally, the notification, if something happens, it'll pop up as in like, oh, this notification for whatever agent or route customer just responded, and it'll add like a red one or a red number showing, hey, this needs action or something.
Yes.
But I could definitely.
Like a pop-up after they get done with their customer, whatever, it pop up and say, you have a message,
Right. Yeah. There's not really anything that does that, as in after you get done with the customer, because it pops up once, and then if you click X in the notification, it'll go away. But you can always go back to new messages. It should still say unchecked and unassigned. So then it could be still going through the unassigned notifications and then assign them to each individual employee or however you're currently set up to do that.
Okay, and one more question on this. If I go through from my office computer and answer those, doesn't that flag me for next time the customer does a response, it's going to assign it to me?
Yep. If they respond to the same message thread, yes, it will. But if, say, a week goes by and they've had other encounters through messaging, it will either create a new one or it will respond to that last one that was sent in.
So it'll always be under my name, and if I do that, right?
It just depends on if it's unassigned, reassigned, who it's assigned to, basically.
Okay.
So for a little further clarification, maybe. So let's say, you know, you have an interaction with a customer. They ask you, I don't know, about replacing a zipper, and the interaction was between you two. Then there's no communication with that customer until the next time they ask something else. Hey, how much is cleaning a coat? That would be considered a follow-up on that last message. But let's say in between requesting a price for changing a zipper to how much is a coat, there was a message that went out from the system saying, hey, your order is ready, you can come pick it up. The next time they ask how much is a coat, that would be considered a new message or a new issue, and that would not be attached to your last communication to them. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
I was just wondering if you're any closer to adding more colors or patterns.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get wrapped up here. Appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you, and we will see you next week. Thank you.